Good morning, everyone. Welcome back on to North Dakota Today. So joining us today is singer-songwriter James Bergman, who is an active member in our FM area community. So good morning, James.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. So first of all, we want to know a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Canada on a honey farm, which is, Buzz Lab is kind of cool to hear about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a speech-language pathologist during the day, but I love writing songs, especially custom collaborative songwriting and intuitive songwriting.
Okay, so what is that?
Custom collaborative songwriting is when I talk to people about a project or something they're passionate about, whether it's a person or a business or an organization, and then together we create a song.
Very cool.
And intuitive songwriting, I've realized I've written hundreds of songs over the years that I haven't shared, but I've had conversations with people recently, and then all of a sudden it will remind me of something that I've written, and it just feels like I'll share it and it'll just touch that moment perfectly.
Oh, wow. That sounds inspiring, honestly. I love that. So what got you into the songwriting?
I grew up in a family of storytellers, and so it feels like storytelling and music was just something I grew up around, and writing just came really naturally for me.
Oh, wow.
And so it's something that I've always enjoyed doing and have been doing more and more of recently, and so it just feels like it's a good fit for me.
Yeah. And so how long have you been doing it?
It will probably be close to 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so can you explain the kind of genre that you play?
Well, I picked up a guitar eventually because it's tough to write a song without having music to go along with it. So kind of this, I don't know, coffee house, maybe like a folk sort of feel.
Yeah.
That's kind of my jam.
Okay. Well, we would love to hear a little snippet of it if you are ready.
That sounds great. This song is called Spring in Fargo. We didn't really get much of a spring.
Yeah.
But here it is. Just when you thought it was never gonna arrive, you blink for a second and the world comes alive like a switch was flipped and the lights flicker on, and then you adjust your eyes and realize, hey, wait, the snow is gone. Like, what? Wait, is winter really over? Am I the only one who thinks it? Should I be putting away my winter coat because I don't want to jinx it? We've had so many stops and starts and storms along the way. Now I'm just happy I can finally say it's spring in Fargo. Oh, ain't it beautiful? If you've never been here, it's a truth you'll never know, that when it's spring in Fargo, everybody seems to have a smile and a song to sing. And even if they're not saying it, they're thinking it. Thank God it's spring.
Woo! Oh my gosh, that was too true.
Thank you.
It was just speaking everyone in this community what they were thinking, honestly. So thank you so much for playing
welcome.
that.
Thanks for
That was
having me here.
amazing. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so let's get into more of how you're involved in the community.
Sure. So, like I said, I'm a speech-language pathologist, but
Yeah.
I also love celebrating the amazing things that are going on right here in our community. So when I hear about organizations, sometimes I'll just start writing something and then share it with them and say like, hey, would you like me to perform this? And usually they'll say, yeah. And another thing I love doing is at galas and other fundraising events, offering up my services as an item that they could then use as part of a silent auction or a live auction. I've done that in the past, and then also being able to showcase what I do in addition to offering that as a fundraising item.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. And I love that you just tailor it into very specific just companies, businesses, organizations, just environments that you're in. I love the Fargo and spring thing. It was so good. So give us an example of the very beginning of when you said that you kind of just write songs for an organization that want it and that ask you to play for them.
Oh, the one that comes to mind right away is Ronald McDonald House here in Fargo.
Okay.
I sat down and had coffee with someone who was working there for a while, and we were talking about it, and suddenly, I think probably an hour after the conversation, the line, because home away from home, that's something that we all hear,
Yeah.
But it feels so much like something everybody's familiar with. It doesn't have enough to kind of stand on its own. But the line, they've got a way of making a home away from home feel the way it should. became kind of the central part of the song. And it feels like once I find that one little piece, it feels like it's easy to build the rest of it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what does it mean to you that you get to do this for people?
It means that I'm allowed to share my voice to amplify other people's voices. And as a speech therapist, I've been doing that for my professional career for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
But now also being able to share my own voice and share what I've written has been really nice. And so it feels really good to give that service to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved hearing the personal experience that you had at the Ronald McDonald House. Do you have another example of when you played and kind of just the community's response when you play?
So I think one of the first things that really got me into this was I wrote a song for the Imagination Library, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and the United Way at the time was hosting that program. And I shared it with somebody there, and they asked me to speak at one of their galas, and it was an incredible event.
Yeah.
And I love Dolly Parton so much. And the Imagination Library is amazing. I was really sad to see it go, but it's still an inspiration. It's still amazing to see what she's doing with her life and how she's serving so many kids, not just in our community, but around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashlyn and I have been very vocal about our love for Dolly Parton. She's an icon. We love her.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so where can people find you?
You can find me on social media. So on Facebook sometimes, mostly Instagram. I'm also posting a little bit more on YouTube. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. I've got songs written, and posted all over the place.
Yeah.
So good luck finding them, but you'll see me around, I'm sure.
All right, perfect. Well, do you have another little tune that you can play us out for?
You know what? I think I'm going to play the second verse of that song, Spree and Fargo.
Okay, perfect.
You ready?
Yep, ready.
Wait for a second, because could we talk about the trees with those leaves and their blossoms just waving in the breeze at everyone passing by like they're saying, hi, are you ready? It's spring, and then they're throwing down their petals like confetti. And I know spring's anticipated in other places too, but they probably don't appreciate it just as much as all of us do.